Evolution doesn't happen inside a single pregnancy. A human pregnancy, about 9 months, is about development, not evolution. Development equals how one individual grows from embryo to baby. Evolution's how populations change over many generations. These are completely different processes. A baby doesn't replay evolution step by step. Instead, it follows a human genetic blueprint that's already been shaped over a very long time. Why embryos can look similar early on. Early embryos of many animals share some features, like a tail-like structure or similar shapes, because they share ancient biological origins. This connects to embryology, but important point, they don't turn into other animals. A human embryo always develops into a human. 3. Humans did not come from modern apes. This is a big misconception. Humans did not come from the apes you see today. Humans and apes share a common ancestor long ago. This idea comes from evolution. Think of it like cousins. You and your cousin share grandparents, but you didn't come from your cousin. 4. Why don't we see it happening again? We actually do see evolution, but not as dramatic instant changes. Evolution happens, slowly, over thousands to millions of years across populations, not individuals. Examples today: bacteria becoming resistant to antibiotics, animals adapting to environments over generations. But you won't see a human suddenly turning into another species. That's not how evolution works. 5. Why the cycle doesn't repeat. Evolution isn't a loop like tadpole, ape, human, repeat. It's more like a branching tree. Different species split off over time. Each follows its own path. Once humans exist, new humans are born as humans, because our DNA is already human. 6. Where your Bible perspective fits. You're right that humanity today matches human reproduction described in Scripture. Humans reproduce after their kind. Many believers interpret this as evolution explains variation within creation. Yahweh is still the ultimate creator. Others reject evolution entirely and hold strictly to Genesis. That's also a position people take. Final grounded point. Your expectation. If evolution were true, we should see babies transform through species or repeat the process. The correction. Evolution doesn't work within a single lifetime. It works across many generations over a long time. Biblical genealogy timeline, text-based calculation. Some scholars, famously James Ussher, added up the ages listed in Genesis 5 and 11, and later biblical timelines to estimate Earth's age. Key idea. The Bible lists how old each patriarch was when they had the next named descendant. Add those numbers together, you get a continuous timeline. Result, Ussher-style calculation. Creation of Adam, 4004 BC. Time from Adam to Jesus Christ, 4,000 years. Time from Jesus to now, 2,000 years. Total 6,000 to 6,500 years. So yes, using that specific method, the timeline is well under 10,000 years. Title: Roots of Humanity, African Sunrise, Golden Light over Vast Land. In the beginning, humanity's story was written under the African sun, where the first footsteps walked, the first voices spoke, and the first dreams were born. Ancient people, community life. From deep roots in Africa, generations grew, explored, and journeyed across the earth. Over time, the world shaped them. Sunlight, climate, and distance, painting humanity in many shades. Close-ups of diverse faces, different colors, but one origin, different cultures, but one human family. Strong Black figures, history, culture. Black history is not just a chapter, it is the foundation. Innovation, strength, resilience, woven into the story of all mankind. Modern diverse unity. We are not divided by our differences, we are connected by our beginnings. People holding hands across cultures, one humanity, one origin, one future. 1. Radiometric dating, natural clocks and rocks. Scientists use a principle called radiometric dating. Certain elements, like uranium, naturally decay into other elements, like lead, at a fixed, measurable rate. This rate is called a half-life. It doesn't change. Example: if you find a rock and measure how much uranium versus lead is inside it, you can calculate how long that decay has been happening. This isn't guessing, it's repeatable math plus lab measurement. 2. Age of the Earth from meteorites. Scientists don't rely only on Earth rocks, which can be recycled by geology. They also date meteorites, remnants from when the solar system formed. Using radiometric dating, meteorites consistently give an age of about 4.5 billion years. 3. Genetics, human timeline. The The field of genetics looks at DNA mutations over time. DNA changes slowly at measurable rates. By comparing populations, scientists can trace ancestry back. This shows modern humans originated in Africa roughly 200,000 to 300,000 years ago. All humans share common ancestors. 4. Layers of the Earth. Geology. In geology, rock layers stack over time, oldest on bottom, youngest on top. Fossils appear in a consistent order worldwide. You don't see modern animals mixed randomly with ancient ones. It follows a timeline. 5. Light from space. Light travels at a fixed speed. When we look at distant stars and galaxies, we're seeing light that left them millions or billions of years ago. That supports an old universe, not a young one. So is this just belief? No, this is what makes it different from word of mouth. Measurable, lab-tested. Repeatable, any qualified lab can verify. Cross-checked, multiple methods agree. Global, scientists from many countries and backgrounds. Important perspective. You're really asking a deeper question. What counts as real evidence? Science relies on physical measurement and testing. Faith, scripture, relies on revelation, tradition, and interpretation. They operate differently, but both matter to different people in different ways. But there are important complications. 1. Biblical genealogies may skip generations. The Hebrew word for father can also mean ancestor, so the lists might not be strictly complete. That means the timeline could be longer than it appears. 2. Different manuscripts give different numbers. For example, the Masoretic text, the Septuagint. These versions sometimes list different ages, which can shift timelines by hundreds or even over 1,000 years. Number 3. Science uses independent dating methods. Fields like geology and genetics rely on radiometric dating, fossil records, DNA analysis. These consistently indicate Earth, 4.5 billion years old. Modern humans, 200,000, 300,000 years old, originating in Africa. So what's the bottom line? Biblical genealogy map, literal reading? 6,000 to 10,000 years. Scientific evidence, much older Earth and human timeline. Interpretation varies depending on whether you read the genealogies as strict historical records, theological, structured lineages. A balanced way to view it. Many people today see it like this. The Bible explains purpose, meaning, and spiritual origin. Science explains physical processes and timelines. They're answering different kinds of questions, even if they overlap.